Well, it's been fairly unequivocal from Moscow. The Deputy Foreign Minister, Sergei Ryabkov, called it a very dangerous step. He said that Russia would not accept ultimatums or blackmail, and if this goes ahead, that Russia would have no choice but to retaliate. We've also heard from a number of MPs and senators. One of them, Alexei Pushkov, called this a return to ground zero. He said that was the point that originally led to the Cuban Missile Crisis. He said such things have to be tackled very seriously. And perhaps most notably, as you said, we heard from the former Soviet leader who actually signed this agreement, Mikhail Gorbachev, all the way back in 1987. He was there at the White House with Ronald Reagan and the official original negotiations. He has been quoted as asking, do they really not know what this could lead to? And he called it a very big mistake. So a fairly unanimous reaction there from Moscow, from the very high-profile figures that we've heard from so far. We haven't heard yet from the foreign minister or the president himself.
Lucy, John Bolton is having a series of high-level meetings in Moscow today and tomorrow. Is Russia hoping to convince the U.S. to reverse the decision?
Well, it seems possible. We've heard from the Kremlin. A Kremlin spokesman said that Vladimir Putin will be meeting with John Bolton probably tomorrow to seek answers. Some analysts have suggested that perhaps this is reversible. They've pointed to other agreements like the NAFTA agreement, which Donald Trump has threatened to withdraw from, and it seems to later have been a tactic for renegotiation. So perhaps that's what's going on here. Perhaps when John Bolton meets the President Putin, they might be able to agree on some form of renegotiation in the future. It's thought that Donald Trump, as well as accusing Russia of violating the agreement, he also might be concerned about other newer nuclear powers which have emerged since 1987. So China, for example, is one that's mentioned a lot, which is not included in this agreement. Perhaps there's some third way, some new agreement that could be formed. These are all things probably that that Russia will be looking for. There's also another treaty which is due to expire in 2021, the New START treaty, which was signed between Obama and Putin and Russia. So they probably also will be seeking answers as to what Donald Trump intends to do about that treaty, because the negotiations were expected to be beginning or ongoing fairly soon.